5 years ago, there was a video circling around. Being on Discord, I naturally saw the video there. That video sent me on a rabbit hole that ultimately culminated in a recreation of an unidentified song. No one to this day knows where it came from, who made it, and the name of that song. The video I speak of is one of an Eevee dancing. You may have seen this video. It is even more likely you have seen other videos of Eevee dancing like to Rasputin, though the dance moves are definitely not the same. This is also part of the rabbit hole I would get sent down. Let's talk about the video itself. I had always been enamored by the song used. My first impression was that it was from a video game of some sort. At the same time I first found the video, I was unable to find the song and had no leads. Luckily, I liked the video so much I decided to download it from Discord. This was a seriously good move, as I otherwise would not be able to find an archive of the video on YouTube or any other platform, as Google's algorithms are possibly the worst abominations to grace the internet. I decided to put my search on hold for a couple of years before I tried to try my luck again. I finally got some leads, like looking into the OSTs of Kirby games. These leads were ultimately fruitless. It should also be stated that while I was interested in the question of who actually made the animation, my autism for music was stronger, so my investigation largely focused on the music side of things. That brings me to a few days ago. I decided to do one last Hail Mary, to get all the details. Who made the animation, where it was posted, where to find an archive of it, who made the song, what was the name of the song, where it was posted, and what it was made in. Even now, I only know the answers of 3 of those questions, and they just deal with the animation itself, not the song. But finding info about the art was a challenge itself. I mentioned earlier that Google's algorithms quite suck. When I say it was impossible to find a specific video with the search query Eevee dancing, I really do mean impossible. It was as if the animation just didn't exist online anymore. Because I had saved the video to my phone, it made finding the animation possible. I had to take a screenshot of the video and do a reverse Google image search. This actually offered avenues to go down. A YouTube video was linked as a result. It was an archive of the video. A few things quickly became apparent. No one has any clue what the song used is. Second is that no one knows who made it. It was as if the song and the animation were one. This is not the case, they are separate at the start. Anyone who found the video just got it that way with the song included. No extra information. The video itself was common at the time, but details surrounding it has just been totally lost. It was clear that while the archive exists, it would not help me. But the reverse image search also led me to various sites that contain links to original posts. This is where I find the original artist of the animation, Esther. The original post did not exist, but could be loaded back into Wayback Machine. This displays the animation. There is a more reliable and quicker version, or well, versions on E926, the safe version of E621. Esther has an account there. Whether this is actually Esther is unknown to me, but is possible. This is where I found out a big source of pain I experienced. I mentioned how other Eevee dancing videos popped off more in the YouTube algo. Plenty of them. All but the one I was interested in. I discovered that most of those videos, most of those animations, were created by Esther. This guy, who had no idea, has caused me so much pain just trying to find an archive of a fucking Eevee dancing to a certain song because YouTube. I'm happy Esther made all those animations, but was quite shocking to me that Esther was basically the source, the one and only Eevee guy, and it was also frustrating. So, now that I found who made the art and where it came from, the next area to investigate was the song. the main thing that continued to elude me, it still eludes me to this day. I tried really hard to search for the song. Every single post that mentioned or showed the animation, I searched for any clue that would give an indication of at least where to look. OSTs were thrown around here and there, but the song direction of each game just did not align with the direction of the song I was searching for. After hundreds of songs per OST, my doubts were not misplaced. After a while, it became clear the song was not from a song from a game or a movie. It was an original creation by an independent artist. That increases the scope to basically outer space by this point. There were some leads despite that though. One person mentioned it was called Cheeseburgers, so I decided to search that on SoundCloud. No results that were a match. There was another lead I didn't investigate at the time for good reason, but in a matter of desperation, I used tools to recognize songs, just as those before me have done, and just as they have been, I was left stranded. But I mentioned that one lead. A Reddit user mentioned that the song sounded like it was made in beatbox. The reason why I did not investigate it before the point that I did is that Beatbox Archive only compiles songs from Twitter, and there might be a case where the song wasn't posted on Twitter. Another thing that made this process appear daunting is the archive is really huge. Without filters, you could go on for hours to days to weeks. I may be stubborn, but you have to stop at some point. The only filter that I can manage to use is to look for any song up to 2020, the date when I downloaded the Eevee dancing video to my phone. I really thought at some point I'd run into it. In fact, I was almost convinced it was an artist called Naisu Semaru, as their styles sounded similar. But nothing they have seemed to made matched. After hours and hundreds of songs, I threw in the towel. By this point, I was pretty hopeless. I had wasted several hours for fruitless results. But as I said, I am stubborn. I care way too much about a fucking Eevee dancing to just let go. Left with no other options, I had to make the song myself. I arranged a recreation of the song. The tempo wasn't completely accurate due to switching from 141 BPM to 140 BPM at different moments, and how lining up playback was a pain in the ass in the first place. There were also some errors, but one is a timing issue I just never managed to fix, even with an accuracy of 64th note timing. I have no clue why that's the case. Drums are also not set in place because I was using Rose Garden, which is just a glorified MIDI arranger. This means percussion is extremely difficult to work with. MuseScore also never manages to work on my system. It technically works, but audio doesn't. An audio tool where you cannot hear playback is an immediate non-starter, and after 2 years, the issue still has not been fixed. So I only use it for exporting and uploading. Regardless, I hope you enjoy my arrangement. This is as close as I can get to closure. Hopefully, one day, the composer of the song comes forward and sheds light on what the song is. Until then, thank you. All resources, project files, and music files will be in the description.